Okay, we're gonna get this thing cleaned up now. I'll leave my wrench out because we are gonna have to adjust the height of that tool, I think. I kind of eyeballed it. What are we at here on speed? Let's try 490 again. A2. Well, let me get my auto feed in line here. We're on feed. Yes, we are on. I guess they're coming at 8.3 thousandths. Trying to take the paper off right now and set my height. It looks pretty consistent as far as my face being true. I think the height might be okay. Yeah, we need to come up a little bit. I bottomed out. Okay, I have ever so slight a round nipple or a bump, smooth bump, so I am too high. So I'm going to lower a little bit. For a while. And we are going to back here a minute. And we're going to lock the carriage. And we'll use the we use the compound to advance the cutting tool. So now I think we're going to be turning a true reading with the compound because it is at 90 degrees. So let's try 10 thousandths or thereabouts. Okay, I want to do one more pass. I want to get a little depth to improve the... Once again, I've losing my finish in the very center. And before I thought that might have been the fact that I wasn't going fast enough, because obviously the outside is spinning much faster than the inside. So last time I thought that, I made some change other than that change, and it rectified the problem. I believe I just changed the feed or the depth of cut. But I'm going to increase the speed this time and see how that goes. Now I'm not sure, what do I mean? Am I going to increase the RPMs of the chuck? Or am I going to increase the feed? I don't want to increase the feed because that, I think the slower the better finish you're going to get. So let's just try decreasing the feed and leaving the RPMs where they're at. So, go from 8.3 to 5 makes a difference. Okay, I decreased the feed to 5 thousandths per revolution, and I've increased my cut by 10 thousandths, so we're going 20 thousandths this time. Oh, wrong way. Well, my cut is going to change now because I just moved the knot in that. Yes, I did adjust this the wrong direction. So touch off. And 10, 20. Not that mirror finish we were getting the other day. I'm doing something different. I might try one more pass so that increase the revolutions. Because I was getting literally a mirror. There's also a much better chip control. I'm not complaining here though, this is not bad. Well, I don't know, that's pretty damn good. Let me get this piece of paper now. Yeah, I was seeing much more detail in my reflection than that. So let's bump up the speed. This will be our last pass. There it is. You can see the difference there, I'm sure. Okay, I need to stop or I'm going to be cutting through to the other side here pretty soon. So I'm going to unlock the carriage. And we're going to go ahead and take care of this side over here. I'm going to change the feed direction. So when I'm feeding forward, my cross feed feeds from the center out towards me. If I'm feeding in reverse, my cross feed comes from the outside to the inside. Now obviously my longitudinal feed is going to go forward towards the chuck and reverse away from the chuck. So here we go. We call that 0. Chuck might need a little adjustment. Well, I kid you not, I didn't think I was getting this thing loose, but I broke it loose off camera, and that's what I used. Now, let's find our little surprise we have in here. Turns out it wasn't doing anything at all. I don't know that. So there's my spacer in there. So there's the body and the lid. Don't want that many. I'd like to close this thing up with fewer turns. I just don't know if the threads didn't cut deep enough down here, deeper into the thread. So if I shortened this, that would minimize the engagement to the first half of this. Is it going to draw me all the way down though? Or what if I cut this lid down to like 3 threads? As it is right now, let's see, let's get a little help here. Give it the benefit of the doubt and a little lubrication. Probably should have sprayed it first. Blow it off. So let's see where we're standing at. Very easy. Easy, easy. And that's all I got. So do I introduce an O-ring on that? Make it watertight, or do I figure out how to close this thing up all the way? I'm for figuring out how to close it up all the way without going in and recutting the threads. Seems to me that just changing the amount of threads on the lid should bring me on in, because if it's the leading edge of the threads in the back section of the internal threads, if that's where the tightness is, I would be, by shortening that leading male thread, I would be canceling out how deep it engages in the female thread, and would be able to get all my engagement So right now, let's see, that's nice right there. Now I am seeing 3 threads out here. Easy, it's easy. Now I got 1.5, 2 threads back here. So if I take 1.5 or 2 threads off the other end of the male thread, is that going to bring everything in tighter? Okay. Well, look, I'm all crooked, aren't I? I'm still crooked. No, I'm not. Whatever. Okay, well, that's that. I need to figure out what I need to do to make this thing close all the way. I have relief on the inside in here, and I got good relief on the cap where the threads end. I'm just thinking that my threads were cutting deeper on in the beginning, and as I got deeper into my bore, they're minutely shrinking a bit. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But, you know, in my mind, if I shorten up the depth of threads on the cap, is that going to make it screw in closer on this? And, you know, you guys are probably saying, well, is this guy an idiot or what? I'm asking, I don't know. I think the threads are shrinking as they go deeper into the body. Just an alignment issue with the lathe. Could be tailstock alignment. Might cause that to happen. I'm thinking about anodizing. Okay, while I was editing this video, I was drawn back over here, and I believe I just about lost my whole piece. So, what did I do first? I determined that I'm going to shorten up the male threads on the cap, and then I'm going to recut the male threads on the cap. So I get the threading insert out, and I get everything lined up, and I'm pretty much engaged in, back in the same groove. And pretty much, not totally. So, misread my dial, took a deep dive, probably 20 or 30 thousandths gouge, and I figured it was all over. That's it. So, got the parting blade and got rid of all that, and I got down to where I have about 2 or 3 threads, and the male threads only extend about still can't get that thing to face up. And so I determined that it's the female threads closer to the end of its run where they're not quite as deep as the starting threads are. So what I actually did was took my thread gauge and went in there and started scraping those internal threads using this as my cutter. And I've made up some ground, and I believe I can get it there with this method. So let me see if I can get you here, see what you're looking at. Okay, that's going to be all right. So get ready for a shock. So this is my new male threads. Yeah, I never know what you're seeing, you're not. But basically, what I've been doing is taking, are we in the picture? Is taking this and hear that scraping there? So I've been bringing this around and just taking off the smallest amount of material. I also, before I started this, I was working on the male threads. I was turning everything by hand without power. I figured the slower I went, if you're going really fast, you can screw things up really fast. And if you're barely moving, maybe there's less likely that you're going to screw things up. You got to keep in mind, though, as you're turning this, it is getting closer to the termination, and you might start, you bottom out. So let's see if that did anything, just that little bit. You know, I could just cop out and say we're going to have an O-ring. I am definitely closing that gap. Oh, man. Okay. Now I'll go back to editing this video. I figured I thought I blew it totally. I was so pleased when I was able to get that back. That fit. When you screw up a lot, you learn a lot.